Hi, I'm Evan.
And I'm Mark. On this week's episode, we talk about limiting self-beliefs a little bit and some things that blew my mind. Evan wasn't quite as impressed with it as I was. We talk about the dark side and how you need to be careful not to play there for too long.
I get animated, as usual.
Actually, Evan makes me laugh because he says, I don't remember what he says. He doesn't say cuckoo. He says something. Anyway.
Cuckoo? You're cuckoo. Enjoy. It is 3:01. Welcome to another edition of the Sultan of Poo podcast. My constant co-host, Mark Drager, literally just joined in. His camera is blurry. He hasn't tested his gear.
No. It shouldn't be blurry.
You're full on blurry. The type, see, there you go. Now
I spent 25 minutes because I actually had to switch cameras. This is not the normal camera. This is not the normal lens. I spent from 2:35 until about 4 minutes ago working on this.
He was late. Anyway, I got nice
bad news. Oh, cappuccino cup.
Ooh, there's like extra cream or something on this. These cups are getting lots of use now. Ooh, she put like a dollop of cream on top there. A little tiny bit. Look at that.
Oh, I shouldn't check things right before I got. So we're supposed to be launching our new website tomorrow.
Our Fanta or our Mark Drager?
Fanta. And I asked early in the week the developer to make a few changes on things because anyway, when you build out a website, you can do programming on the page. So that way you set every cell on the page. But then if you want to make a change, it's not global. So I said, no. I want all of my CSS. I want all of my codes for all of my styles to be global. So if I make a change in one sheet, it just takes effect across the whole site.
Are you project managing this too?
Yeah, well, this is my baby. So he sent me a note and said, just got all the work done, and like completely undid like 2 weeks of styling. And I was just like, oh, I've already QA'd the entire site twice. Like he's just undone everything. So the reason I was a minute late was because I was like, oh, good. I get to go through everything all over again because I can't send him a note and just say, hey, you messed everything up. That doesn't help. So I get to go through every.
Okay, but he should know that he messed everything up. Maybe he can undo it. Maybe it can be part of the solution.
It's not as bad as it seems. I'm only 5 minutes into so this, maybe people find this interesting. So
you're just complaining. No, we don't find this interesting. You're just complaining.
No, I was going to say how I built the site. It's genius.
Whatever, you're fine. Okay, what are we talking about today, Mark?
What are we talking about today? Well, I was going to talk about how do you handle terrible. No, I wasn't going to terrible news. I wanted to talk to you about something that I touched on in a podcast conversation I had last week, and I actually made a video about it. But it's something that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
Ooh, blowing your mind. I like this. Okay.
Yeah, it's a limiting belief that I didn't even know that I had.
That's okay. Great.
But which you were about to say that's every limiting belief ever?
Pretty much, but keep going.
Okay. So I used to think when I was younger, I was like, what's the point of getting all fit? Like if I wanted to get super muscular, I could get muscular, but what's the point? Because people who get super muscular and super buff and super fit, they hit their 50s, they hit their 60s, they lose it all. They can't keep it forever. If you're going to end up all like round and, not in shape, what's the point of getting in shape? I used to think, well, what's the point of really dieting? Because as soon as you stop dieting, you're going to gain all the weight back. Right. And so I bumped on something, and this is just two examples, but it's also, what's the point of sitting down with your team and having a really deep conversation with them if 2 weeks later you're going to have the same conversation again because it doesn't last? I don't like doing things unless if I know it's going to have a long-term lasting effect. I don't think it's worth the effort. I don't think it's worth the time. Unless if I know that I'm going to get a long-term lasting effect out of something, I don't like to do it. I think it's a waste of time and energy. And so I was talking to someone about this, and I said, what's the point of doing this if in 6 months, 9 months, a year, everybody's just going to go back to normal? And the person said, well, it still works. It may only work for 3 months. It may only work for 6 months, but it still works. And aren't you a little bit better off ahead for having done the work that works, even if it only lasts 6 months? And so this got me thinking about Tony Robbins and my health and all these other things. And so I'm trying to right size in my mind. Obviously, Evan likes to say, is the juice worth the squeeze? I think that's going to be your answer. Well, Mark, is the juice worth the squeeze? But it's this new way of looking at things, because I realized in my journey of losing weight, 50 pounds over 2 years or whatever, it wasn't linear. It was like a whole bunch of things that worked and then stopped working. And then the next thing worked and then it stopped working. And the next thing worked and it stopped working. But collectively, it helped get me somewhere by kind of inching forward. I've never looked at things this way before. I've always been like, what's the point of doing this if, what's the point if it's not going to last? And so now I'm trying to right size in my mind, in my brain.
But that's not how you've always been. Did you eat breakfast today?
No.
Did you eat breakfast? Well, did you eat dinner last night?
Yes.
What's the point? It's not going to last.
I know.
Did you just breathe 2 seconds ago? What's the point?
I'm going to hold it, guys.
What's the point? In 6 months, you won't remember that meal you had last night.
I know. And that's an argument that I've heard before. And I've even heard people talk about that, what's the point of, if you're not going to remember, if I used to do this too, what's the point of reading a book if I know I'm not going to remember it or implement anything? There's no point in reading the book if I can't remember every book I read. And so it's getting used to just like, well, there's a value in consuming it and shaping my thinking, and maybe it's in the back of my subconscious or this or that. Anyway, I didn't even know I had this belief, but I think it's been hurting me.
You have to just be making sure you're pointing in the right direction. Are you pointing in the right direction? And you never know what conversation, like that conversation with the team might have a long lasting impact on somebody. Have you ever been impacted by a conversation that changed your life? Sure. Is it every time? No. Do you know which one it's going to be? So you keep going.
Pull it, Josh. That's the clip. Yep. Nope. I've never heard you say,
This is a memorable conversation then.
This changed my life, Evan.
You never know. As long as you're still going in the right direction. Sometimes you run, you crawl, you fly, you swim, you're moving in the right direction. You can't be attached to this being like you always want it to be. Great. But not be defeatist about it. My goal always is that every conversation is the life-changing conversation that changes everything. My goal with every video recording is this is the greatest video recording of all time. I did my movement makers this morning. Like, this is going to be the greatest movement maker session I've ever done. In my head, I'm imagining I'm presenting to 1 million people who are all signed up in this group. That was my intention going in. And I'm sure for some people it was awesome, and some people was good, and some people, I mean, nobody left in the middle, which is pretty cool. But whatever, like people, it'll wear off on some people. Great, you get back up and do it again.
You talk about the first time you presented, right? You're presenting at the YMCA. 2 people show up. Free presentation.
Three. That's 50% more.
That is a 50%.
That's a big jump.
I cut it down by 33%, but a 50% increase. So I presented early on for this innovation group who wanted to come hear me speak. And I came and I was nervous and I thought I was doing a great job. And this old couple who are sitting in the front row slowly stand up. There's only maybe 20 or 30 people there. They slowly stand up while I'm talking and like grab their coats, grab their bags. They're in the middle of like, this is at Mel Lastman. This is where you got married. But it was like in a room in that building, and say, excuse me, and walk slowly out. And I'm just like talking and thinking, should I stop talking? Because should I be like, goodbye, see you later? Anyway, I don't know why. You just reminded me of that.
Great.
Slowly walking out.
It's one of the hardest things to do as a speaker is not pay attention to the people who are leaving the room.
I said goodbye to them. I do remember. I was like, okay, good night. And yeah, at least no one virtually slowly got up and walked out on you during movement.
You're trying to plan the perfect next step. And unless this next step has the exact desired outcome, you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But you lose. You don't know what the perfect next step is. You'll never know the perfect next step until you go.
I know, but this also hurts my thinking as a strategist or as a marketer because I limit potential tests based off of will we be able to to basically mitigate risk and stuff. Anyway, this was big for me. This is a good unlock, and it's all thanks to I was speaking to Jacob Green, on my other podcast, We Do Hard Things, and he was the one who mentioned this thing that made me go, and then I wrote it down even. So
even look at what we're doing on my ad campaign for Built to Serve, right? Throwing up however many versions of the ads and testing them and seeing which one works.
What about it?
Well, I'm never attached to any ad that this has to be the one that works. The goal, correct, right? So do I want to be spending time trying to sell more books and get them into more people's hands? Yes. Okay, great. Otherwise, that's not a noble goal. Like, don't spend time on it. Okay. Is YouTube advertising a good strategic way to accomplish my goal? Yes. Okay, great. Let's do that instead of MySpace advertising. Perfect. But it's not like get rid of critical thinking. That's juice worth the squeeze stuff. But inside of that, you never know which step is going to, you're worried about building the whole staircase. You never know what the perfect step is going to be, as long as you're climbing the right hill. Do you build a staircase for a hill? Maybe.
You do if it's outdoors, if it's super steep and you want to make it comfortable for people.
There you go.
There you go.
Just make sure you're climbing the right hill. And then you worry about building a staircase, but no perfect step is going to be there. So we'll throw up, that strategy should be throw up a whole bunch of different creative. Let me hear your best ideas. Let's have lots of those, this group meeting. It's still my intent to climb that hill. And maybe we're going to take the right step forward in this meeting here today. And maybe for some people, that meeting is the one that changed their lives. And some people in the same group is the one that, there's Mark talking about this thing again. And they totally check out.
Yeah.
Are you climbing the right hill? That's what matters.
Well, anyway, that was the thing.
Okay, great.
That's good advice.
I got so hyped up. I don't know. This morning I saw, every time I do movement makers, I'm always extra
Joshua there? Was Joshua there?
Joshua's there. We gave him mad shout outs. He was on the session 2 weeks ago. I forget what we were talking about, but it had to do with making content, obviously, because everybody then was posting just the flurry of content people were up to. And Joshua posted that he created 100 pieces of content in 30 days. And then he added not the caveat, but the extra explanation to say, and these weren't just simple photo posts. I wrote content. I wrote for every piece. Like, dude, we do 3 a day on Instagram. So he's outpacing me and my team if he's doing 100 over 30 days. So he was there. He showed up. Tons of love. Anyway, so this morning I saw in Tony Robbins, his Instagram post got recommended to me. And he's doing his Unleash the Power Within virtual.
I did see that. And I'm curious how it's going to happen.
Right. And so his post is like a carousel of him doing 5 different pictures or something. And he's in front of these giant,
huge screens.
Huge screens.
Crazy.
Huge screens. And everybody's joining in with Zoom or what, I don't know what tech he's using. Doesn't matter. Their webcam and their faces are on these screens. And he's basically yelling into the screens, right?
With his sticks? Does he have his big sticks and he's fake clapping like this so he doesn't hurt his hands?
Well, he hasn't done it yet. Those screens weren't actually Unleash the Power Within. That was a different event that he did.
Oh, you're talking about the challenge he did, because I do know he did a 10-day challenge with him and Dean.
So that's part of the challenge. So Unleash the Power Within, it will likely even be bigger because more people will show up than
of course
what was in there. Anyway, and I saw that and I'm like, that's how I imagined my Movement Makers program. Not necessarily having everybody on webcam, but like the importance, the impact, I'm talking to people who are then off trying to spread their message. And so I carried that through and I forget what song was on. I'm just getting so spazzed out. And like in my head, I'm joining into this group and we're going to have 1 million people there. And this message is going to matter. That's what I'm super, I want to build Movement Makers up, man. It's just so important. It's too helpful. It's too valuable. It's too important. It's too life-changing. We got to build it. We had a great strategy meeting yesterday was it yesterday? It was. Jesus. Feels like it was a week ago. Yesterday, made some massive progress.
Yes, that was yesterday.
Yeah. Mark joined in, dropped some gold on us, and then we stuck around for another hour or so. And then afternoon was all work. So
The way Evan runs meetings is interesting because I haven't ever really, I don't think, been on a meeting with you and your team where you're like, you listen and then you go, we should do this. And then someone's like, oh yeah, we do this right now. And you're like, yeah, that doesn't matter. I don't know. We'll figure out how to do it, but we should do this.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, okay. And then everyone just like writes down and they're like, we'll figure it out. We can do it this way. You're like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care how we do it, but we should do it. And then everyone just reacts and off they go to try and figure out how to do it. And I was like, this is how Evan runs his business. Interesting.
Okay, great. I like it. Great. Let's go. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what happened, but it was great.
You don't remember what happened yesterday. Yep.
We stuck around for another hour afterwards because we're adding even more value in and operation stuff that maybe concerns you, maybe doesn't matter. But yeah, like, hey, who's in charge of this? And go make it happen. And if you need me, great. If not, go. So that was, I mean, this whole Wednesday's my project day, and I've been playing with, this is a new concept of the meeting. So I pick one project per month that we work on. So Movement Makers is the third Wednesday of every month. We get together and we do a meeting in the morning for the people who are involved in the project. So that was me, Nina, Yelena, and Mark. And then in the afternoon, everybody goes to work. Yeah, it's so good, dude. I love it so much. I put all your recommendations in on the website. Yeah, I helped the team with a whole bunch. Now it's like, well, I'm not going to touch it. Now it's like Nina and Yelena have to take over because I'm not going to touch it in a big way until another month. Right? So that scares me a little bit, but I think they got it under.
It scares you? Why? Because lack of control, lack of line of sight?
No, just lack of I love Movement Maker so much, and the idea that I'm not going to touch it again for another month feels bonkers crazy. But next week we're talking about Built to Serve, and I'm like, oh my god, we're going to throw out the book. I'm so excited about Built to Serve. And then next week I'm talking about YouTube Growth Bootcamp. Oh my god, and then whatever, and then we're back to Anyway, I love the project so much. I'll probably end up still tweaking and playing and making stuff happen in between. All the templates and communication, and Mark asked some great questions.
Thank you. It's crazy to me how much you are a fan of your own things.
It's crazy. I love my own thing.
I know.
Why is that crazy?
I don't think most people are. Like, I don't think most people are as excited to work on their own work, even on their own thing.
Dude, look at you. You're so excited to work on markdrager.com. What are you doing on the weekend? Like, oh, I'm working on my new template and logo and all this stuff. You love working on your own thing.
When was that?
When was that?
I did revize my IG stuff, which had been bugging me for a little bit. So.
Yeah, you like work on your own stuff. I think that when puttering. You also see
tweaking, I like puttering, I like playing. Like the fact, like right here, our audio listeners don't know, but our video people, right here is supposed to be shelving. Let's see here. Can I do this in 3D? Oh, right here is supposed to be shelving. And so I bought off of Etsy wrought iron stuff because I have leftover boards. And so I have this stack of books and I have other stuff. And like, oh man, do I want to dig into like hanging up that shelves and making the environment and finishing things off and stuff like that. Okay. That's fun. It's puttering. It's fun. It's like trying things and testing things. And this week I got super into our new, the new stuff Evan's been helping me with for Phantom Media. Oh my goodness.
So what do you think? What did you just start to look how excited you are? You're a little schoolgirl. And then you said, I don't think people like their stuff. What are you talking about?
I haven't had a chance to work on it a lot. Yesterday I got dragged into
okay, but that's different, dude. That's a whole different thing than I don't think most people like their stuff. I don't think
most people spend enough time on the things that excite them the most.
Oh, well, that's different. Not that.
So last week, the conversation
that's different than most people don't like their stuff.
The stuff that I had for We Do Hard Things, the podcast, Saturday morning, I woke up. Oh my goodness, this is such an Evan moment. I woke up. Oh, I think I texted you. I woke up having a terribly scary dream, like a really graphic, scary dream. I woke up at 3:50 in the morning. And so I woke up, I went to the bathroom and I laid back down and I couldn't fall asleep. And at the same time, because this dream woke me up, I had the clearest vision of what I want my new podcast to be, that we're still testing, we're still playing with. And I was like, I got to go downstairs right now. So I went downstairs. I spent like 2 hours writing everything down, writing the brief, PHAing a few other podcasts. I wrote the opening. Yeah, that stuff's fun when lightning strikes like that, or, when it's 4 a.m. and you can't go to sleep. I don't think enough people spend enough time doing those things in the zones. I know I don't. I know that my responsibilities pulls me away too much. I know you're trying to help me spend more time doing all those fun things.
It's a combination of what, like, everybody loves new, everybody loves playing. What's the play within your business that makes you come alive? It's that combination of learning something new and playing and tweaking and having fun on a new project, plus service, plus knowing that this is actually going to be meaningful and help people. So when you combine it, I'm so jazzed to help do Movement Makers and blow it up, because I get to play and tweak and do the website and work on ads and stuff that, is fun, but also it's working, right? Like, people are getting value from it.
Hold on.
What happened? Where's he going? We lost Mark. He said, hold on. He went to go get a book or something. Yeah. I'm filling the air for you. What did you go get?
You didn't have to fill any air.
Lots of fill the air. That was decades worth of air.
Oh no, it's the wrong one. I have so many copies of this book. I have so many copies of my Fanta book that one says TDS on it. But okay, this is what I wanted. It was actually beside me the whole time. Keep going.
So the combination of what you love playing in and doing, that also serves others, and you know that it's mattering and meaningful to people. The Movement Makers group, I mean, Joshua has been a crazy posting. We had a woman who
Joshua has been crazy. Just
that's great. But we had a woman post saying that she challenged herself to do 10 videos in a day after our last call, and then she went and she did 10 videos, and she didn't know she could make that much content in one day. Yes. Right? We had another guy who said after the call he set himself a challenge of 1 video a day for 30 days on Instagram and YouTube. And so far he's on it. He's still doing it.
I thought of challenging myself to that this morning, actually, because I've been inconsistent. I'm off for a week, and then I do 4 videos, and then I'm off for 2 weeks, and then I do 3 videos.
You should join Movement Makers. So for the people in Movement Makers,
everyone should join Movement Makers.
It's happening. They're growing, they're building, and they're connected to each other, right? It's so valuable that the playing becomes even more fun. Mm-hmm. Right? If your shells actually gave other people value too, you'd love the shells even more.
But instead, I just think that they're cool.
That's fine. It's a hobby. It's great. You can have hobbies.
So I talked to you a little bit this week about the dark side. I don't know if we want to go there or not, but part of what was leading to that is Louis brought this up with me, right? So I have this why, right? That, the why that I was with you with to help get fit, to help, Mark, the limiting self-belief. I can't be attractive. I can't be fit, right?
How's the posture going, by the way?
I haven't worked on it, but you reminded me of it yesterday because you sent me that Gary Vee screenshot and said Gary Vee has the same posture as Mark, but I need to work on it. But
yeah, dude, can I? It's crazy. I haven't cracked my back. Normally when I go to the washroom, yeah, you got to fix that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. It's anyway, super valuable. You got to get on it. What's next? Okay. Keep going.
What Louis was saying was, if we go all the way back to, everybody's always said, Mark, you don't know what you want. Mark, you don't know what you want. You're indecisive. I'm super indecisive. I don't know what I want. I know what feels right. I get excited about things, but clarity is really hard for me sometimes. So for my physical fitness, I had to I want to meet my grandkids, right? If I do not get physically fit, I will die young and I will never meet my grandkids. And that was enough for me to focus on this on the times where I didn't run. And then my next thing, I still have my grandkids, but my next thing on my health side is I don't know if I can say, people can bleep this out. I pull a David Goggins. And if I'm starting to get tired, I say, Mark, you stupid fat, keep running. And that is enough to kick something in my brain. And I try breathing and I try all of these other things now. But Louis was like, Mark, you just need, and Louis or Evan, you've been saying this forever. You just need something as powerful as that for the other areas of your life, including business, including content, including everything. And so I created the list of, on health, on relationship, on being a father, on money, on my mission, and on what I call fame, to have the thing that I want or will lose desperately enough. But the question first that I was asking myself, that I've been asking myself every day this morning, which probably is just taken from Brendan Burchard, is the like, one, like, what's the most important thing that I could do today? Like, what is the thing? What is the most important thing that I can do today? But two, then I also flip it to, if I don't do this today, what will it cost me? And I know that you don't like to play on the dark side or the negative side, but if I don't think something's at risk or it's going to cost me something, I don't know. I think a lot of people are like me. Like, yes, we want the carrot. Yes, we want the goal. Yes, we want to do the thing, but we're much more motivated by the thought of losing something.
I mean, I copy and pasted the same message like 8 times in our chat. I forget what it was, but it's still the same answer.
It was, you need to develop the muscle of service. And
no. That's not what I photo. Okay.
Yeah.
No. What did I copy and paste?
Develop the muscle of, okay, now we're going to Facebook.
Now we got to go look at it.
Now we got to go to Messenger. Now we got to scroll back.
Yeah. Okay. It will work for you, but the muscle to work on is service, gratitude, helping.
Yes.
And then you keep leaning in on, well, I think it'll work for me. Yes, it will work for you. Do I need to say it again? It will work for you. It will work for you. It will work for you. Yes, you keep convincing yourself it's going to work for you. There's no doubt in my mind that this will work for you. Great. Do we have that? Have we identified that this will work for you? Great. But the muscle that you need to work on is service, gratitude, and helping. It will work.
But that doesn't come across in your text. What I hear in your text is, yeah, it'll work for you. But what you really need to do is focus on develop the muscle of service, gratitude, and whatever.
You're fine.
I heard they're like, yeah, it'll work. It'll work. I didn't hear the like, yes, it will work. Congratulations, Mark. You figured it out.
No, but you haven't figured it out because that's not where you, that's because working doesn't mean you're going to be happy.
Well,
now you're going to crush your goals. Great. And be ambitious and follow through.
Yes.
And take no prisoners and have no excuses and be a miserable SOB your entire life.
But aren't I already a miserable SOB?
No, you're actually moving
now
the other way.
I live in fear and I live in, insecurity and all of those things. Or
no, you've become much more pleasant to be around over the years.
Really?
Yeah, you've become more optimistic, more happy, more positive.
All of those things. But I've also become more direct. I don't hedge as much, so I kind of feel like more of a jerk.
Well, that's context dependent, right? I mean, sometimes being direct is great, and sometimes it's not. And just knowing who you're talking to, what the context is, that's a whole other topic. But you have become more positive. You've become more happy. You've become a better father and a better husband, and it's had ripple effects through your entire family. Mm-hmm. So that's great. So the negative side, the dark side will work.
Come on,
it will work.
To the dark side.
But not living there, because then you won't be happy. So the muscle to work on that you're weak at is service, gratitude, and helping.
I was listening to Louis yesterday. I had to go into the office. So I rode my bike into the office, which was amazing. It was great. But Louis is just getting, like, the team is busy right now. We're making lots of changes and he's getting call after call after call. And every call he gets, I'm just in the background. It's like a buzz. I'm busy working on things. And I'm just getting more and more stressed out and more anxious. And so when I got home last night, I called him up and I was like, Louis, is this like how your days are? I mean, I haven't worked around him in a long time because of COVID and whatnot. Like, is this how your days are? And he said, yeah, that was a light day. And I was like, dude, 2 things. 1, thank you very much for doing these things. I feel so grateful that you're here for the team, leading and helping and answering their questions, because I don't have the patience to do that. Even just listening to the conversations gave me like just terrible anxiety. So I'm really grateful. And then 2, do you like doing this? Are you sure? And he's just like, I love it. And I'm like, okay. And then I felt even more grateful because I was like, I could not put up with people calling me that much, asking me that many questions. I would just be like, you figure it out. Why don't you already know the answer? Like it would just bother me. So I feel like I can lean into gratitude every now and again.
Well, think about yesterday and the call that we had in helping and guiding me and the team. It felt good. It was fun.
It was fun. I don't know if I helped that much. I mean, I gave a little bit of advice, but yeah, it was fun. It was good. Hopefully you guys can get some momentum from that.
Now imagine there's somebody who is trying to fight the feeling of not feeling good enough, which is a line that we have on my website, which I love, that Mark Drager wrote, which is for himself. Yes. Fight the feeling of not feeling good enough, and you help them through that. Your video, your speech, your one-on-one contact with them, help them fight the feeling of not feeling good enough and give them the push they needed to X, Y, Z. You're going to feel amazing. Mm-hmm. That's what you want to do.
I know. And so you say you want to get that feeling. I say, if I don't do this work right now, that person may never have their life changed and may live miserable forever.
Not enough.
It's not enough?
You that dark side you can't connect to. That's not enough. You're gonna not want to make videos, and then you're gonna imagine some random person that if they
on the video side, everyone I love will live small, insignificant, fear-filled lives and die with regrets. That's what I wrote.
Nah, that's not enough.
You don't think that's enough to motivate me?
Nope.
Everyone that I love?
No, tell me. You telling me that's going to get you in front of the camera and making videos? Nope.
Yeah, I think of my kids.
No.
Think of my family. Jonah's out there making content. You should see my son Jonah has a YouTube channel. He's thrilled. He has 15 subscribers.
I'm one of them. I was number
Evan is 11. One of them. Evan clicked the bell, and when I sent him the screenshot and said, "Look, Jonah, he subscribed to your channel," he was like, he was over the moon. Like, he was really. And then on top of that,
I don't subscribe to that many channels too, guys.
I know. And then on top of that, Evan's sending me screenshots, like proving that he's been watching the little skits my son makes. He did a whole tutorial on his dirt bike that he got given and how to do it and stuff. And I was actually really impressed. He must have watched a lot of videos on YouTube.
Oh, his last video about how everybody in my family wakes up was great.
Did you like that?
That was great. Okay, but whatever. That's not what we're talking about, Drager.
No, but I'm thinking my son living a small, insignificant, fear-filled life, Come on.
What is that going to motivate you to do? That doesn't motivate you to get in front of a camera and start recording your thought leadership content. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. No, it doesn't. No way.
There's honestly, there always seems to be something more important, right? Like it's fear, it's feeling repetitive, worrying you don't have anything to say, all of that stuff. But as soon as you sit down and think, what am I working through? Who have I talked to? Like, as soon as you give yourself time to do it, the content is easy to actually come up with. It just always feels to me like there's something more important that I should be doing, something more pressing, something more urgent.
That's exactly the point.
Important, which is why I came up with things that move these things into painful, like, if I don't do this, I will lose my house. If I don't do this.
You can't make the connection though. That's the problem. If you're actually thinking, no, here's the thing. If you're actually feeling, I might lose my house, your next step is not going to be, let's go make some YouTube videos. You're going to be calling clients trying to land more business.
Sure. That's why I for the mission or, anyway.
The health one is direct. The health one is direct of like, I may not see my grandkids.
Yes.
Well, okay, I need to lose weight. Like, I'm not going to see my grandkids because I'm going to die of a heart attack because I'm 50 pounds or whatever. Mm-hmm. Right. But this, the connection isn't there. You might lose your house and you could be homeless on the streets, and imagine that and what that's going to look like and how much of a failure as a father and a husband you're going to feel. And you could live there super easy. Like, for Drager to go there, he could he's there right now. I live there. That's easy. But that could lead to one, just being depressed. And two, if it's going to lead to action, it's not the action that you're looking for. That's going to lead you to action to go and hustle up business for your Fanta, right? That's like, I need to go get sales right now. mindset. Not I need to go record YouTube videos.
On the fame side. So I've just bucketed helping people, creating content. I've just put it under fame, let's say, but I don't like the word fame. But anyway, my kids and grandkids will look at me as a sad old man. I will die a nobody. That's what I wrote down. I don't want to die a nobody. I want to be extraordinary. I want to be special. I want to be important. I want to be significant. I want to help people. I want to contribute. All of those things are the things that you tell people. But more than anything, I want to live up to my potential. I don't want to die a nobody. I don't want to look back and go like, wow, what a waste of time. You don't think that's enough?
It's better. It's more directly related. You have to actually feel like, I think you can easily feel any negative emotion, especially that self-defeatist that you want to.
yeah, man. I can live there and tap into that the way you can tap into let's go.
You could go there. Great. But does the opposite, like the intent of going there is to inspire positive action on a certain task?
No. The intent of going there is to create an intense sense of urgency around things that frankly have, it's also been pointed out to me that all of my goals don't have timelines. Like I never set timelines for any of my goals.
I think that's fine. I think people get obsessed about the wrong thing.
Okay. But I don't have.
Who's all upset about you not having timelines on your goals?
Me, because I'm willing to let goals slip for an incredible amount of time.
Oh, but that's different. That's having too much.
It's all part of the same thing. There's no intense sense of urgency for this must be up tomorrow. Our website has to go up tomorrow. But if it doesn't, no one dies. It doesn't matter. The only thing that happens is I said it would go up tomorrow and it didn't. And now I'm lying to myself. Or I'm missing a goal. I'm giving myself a free pass, whatever it is. But that's what I mean when I say like, I don't really have timelines around like our HubSpot site is going to go up with only 6 pages. We don't even have all of the photos loaded in and there's supposed to be 18 pages. The links aren't going to go anywhere. Like every link that you want to click on about us, it's going to go to the contact page because we don't have an about us page yet ready to go. And so I'm launching it just because I said I would, but in a lot of other areas of my life, if something more burning, something more urgent, something more important seems to come up, then I'm willing to push these other things. And I need a sense of urgency. I need things to be desperately important to me.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
On that part, I agree.
I think the negativity will work, Evan.
You just have to make sure that the negativity leads you to the action that you want. Because I think if you're saying, you have to make sure that if you're sitting there saying, I'm a nobody, I'm going to die a nobody if I don't do what? And you have to be able to make the connection to making YouTube videos.
So the most important thing I can do today is what? Right? Yesterday, the most important thing I was,
but you're swapping out, to your last comment, you're swapping out unimportant tasks for what you seem to be more urgent, more priority. You're not making videos because you're doing something else. You're not just sitting on the can.
So Wednesday is my content day. I'm supposed to think, so in the morning I get up, it's nice in the middle of the week. So I can have Monday, Tuesday to worry with stuff. I got Thursday, Friday to help clean stuff up. It's supposed to be the content day. So I get up, I'm supposed to think, I'm supposed to write, I'm supposed to record videos and get them all out. Yesterday I had to go into work. I have 2 really large projects that require a lot of my time and attention for strategy. So I spent about 4 hours on that yesterday. I met with another client right before you to help them with some stuff that had to happen that day. I jumped on a call with you. And then we had 3 new sales. And so I had to write up contracts. Had to write the briefs and turn it over to the team.
It's what are you consistently doing?
So
like in a one-off, anything can happen. If it's happening constantly, then your schedule sucks and you need to fix it. No, like here's an example. Thursdays, today is my public facing day. I had so many, every day is every Thursday is crazy packed, busy with interviews. Mm-hmm. What would happen is if a big interview came along, something important that I had to do, I had no time because my Thursdays were all booked. That means I'd have to cancel on somebody. And what I would default to doing was, I'll put it on a Wednesday. I'll put it on a Friday because I don't want to cancel somebody on Thursday, but I have no other spot for them. Mm-hmm. So what we did now was we left the 5 o'clock spot open. So 5 to 6 is nothing until I go streaming at 6. So 5 to 6 is open. It's like the penthouse of a hotel is mostly not booked, but in case the high roller comes in, you have that spot to go to. So great, a whole bunch of stuff came up. That might happen, but if that's happening every week, then your schedule is broken, and that's what you need to fix. If it's a one-off, great, you deal with it, you fix it. But if every Wednesday you're doing this, then your schedule sucks.
10th time we've gone through this.
But it doesn't. You can go through it. You have to
series of me having like my hair get longer and longer, it getting shaven off, me getting skinnier, of you saying the same thing, standing in the same room every single time.
Okay. Well, I mean, you got to do it. You're getting better, but
so
that's not going to help you. Like you're tying the wrong things together. No, hold on. If you said urgency, hold on. You said I'm going to go to the negative side. I'm going to do to force me. That wouldn't have helped. What I'm going to die a nobody, and so I'm going to go make YouTube videos when I have this big client thing that I have to do. Like, it's not going to help you. That's not the problem. The problem is your schedule's broken. Go fix that.
No, maybe. Yes. No. Yes. No. Maybe. One other thing that I've been working on is,
we just passing by that over? What's happening there?
Well, no, I think this will put a bow on that very nicely. Is back in January, we had a whole podcast episode about what Mark liked doing. I'm going to speak in third person. What Mark liked doing. Mark needs to spend more time on the things that he's good at and focused on, and that included podcasting, and that includes talking to people and all of these things. Yep. Every single week, you're just helping me further define, or some people might think we're spiraling, but further define sorry, someone's calling about my dog. Gosh, have you ever posted anything on Kijiji?
Stay on track. Jesus Christ. Keep going.
Anyway, in January, we were talking about these things and further refining things. I don't remember where we were going. The call distracted me now so much.
Jesus Christ. It's like ADHD. Holy cow.
I don't have ADHD. I just have
inability to focus. Get distracted
anyway,
by a call.
So you asked me what was my mission, what was my purpose, what was my why, and I said mine in Vanta, mine for my personal brand, mine at home, and you were like, it's all the same thing, and I was like, no, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's not. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, okay, great.
So that was the other thing that I think would help take care of this, which is like having a single mission, a single purpose, a single voice, not even a single brand. I still have 2 different channels and all of that stuff, and that's fine. We have a business, we have all of these things. But it's not that I do this content as a side gig. I do this content because I can dedicate 20% of my time to it, but I spend the rest of it on the other time. I have to get to a place where I value, maybe value. I place the same importance on this work for helping others, for building the business, as I do having a strategy call with a client. And I don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if other people are there in my life. I think they see this as like a distraction, a waste of time, a hobby, something that's pulling me away from the very true thing that I should be doing, or what have you.
Well,
and so,
I mean, one, the other thing, screw them. 2, you're definitely not there yet. And 3, maybe you don't even need to be yet.
Okay.
Like all the things in your life don't have to be equal importance.
They don't have to be equal time, but.
Well, if they're not equal time, they're not equal importance.
Okay. I don't spend that much time speaking with you or talking with you, but every time I do, it's important.
Okay.
Compared to standing in front of my computer. I spend a lot more time standing in front of my computer. What is going on? Gosh, I sent it to, I'm going to put it on airplane mode.
That's an easy fix. Hey, how about when we get on a podcast, we don't have our phones on?
Hey, how about some of us have phones because my wife is out and maybe it's an emergency or something.
Your wife is pretty self-sufficient.
She is. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Jack is strong.
Jack is strong. Exactly. Anyway, I decided I need one Mark. I'm going to bring them all together. Not going to care what other people think. This is important.
It's something to people with something to prove / fight the feeling of not feeling good enough. Like that's who you want to help.
Mm-hmm.
And you're applying it through your marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And then on your personal side, you're applying it through personal development, mindset, stories. But that's who you want to help.
Overcome doubt and fear to build an extraordinary life.
Sure.
Anyway, does that not bringing everything together answer whatever your concern was? I don't even recall it now.
No, because your strategy still isn't working. Like you're living in a negative to get to you have to make sure it just matches up. And I don't think it does. I don't think you saying I'm going to die a nobody and my grandkids are not going to respect me. I think you can feel that. I just don't think it's going to mean, okay, so now I need to go make YouTube videos. Like it just doesn't connect enough.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. But I'd love to be proved wrong. And if you have to use that once a week, that's not bad. Like if you have to use that just as the Kickstarter, great. But the fuel is that can't be your fuel. What you like cars, like what is it? The ignition, you turn it on and then the gas.
Oh my goodness. The ignition, you turn it on. Are you talking about a combustion engine?
The spark, like when you first turn on a car.
Yes. What happens in your mind when you first turn on a car? What do you think happens?
I have no idea. There's some spark. It's probably not an actual spark, but what happens?
There is an actual spark, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's great. The spark is the negativity. The spark is going to the dark side. And then your car runs off of gas. And the gas that's always there is the service, is the gratitude, is the positivity, is the hope.
Oh my goodness.
That's how you business.
I love this analogy because it's so not correct.
No, you want a car to move. This is exactly correct. Your car is stuck in the garage, not moving, not doing anything, and you need it to move. You need the spark and you need the gas.
You're missing
both.
You're missing like 3 or 4 other things, but that
doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. There's a spark to get you going.
Oxygen is actually what?
There's the starting and there's the driving. Okay.
Okay, right.
Any piece that's involved in the starting is the negative. And anything that's involved in the driving is the service, hope, gratitude, positivity. You can't live in that. But if you need it to spark you once a week,
so
it's just
next time you give this analogy, I would use a transmission and say it's the first gear. The negativity is the first gear. You're not going to go very far.
No.
You're not going to go very fast in first gear.
No.
Yeah.
No, wrong.
Okay.
No.
The negativity is reverse. It helps you back out of the driveway. No. But you're not going to spend all your life going backwards.
Because at least you're moving. First gear, you're still running off the gas. First gear, you're gonna go into a whole bunch of times every time you hit a red light. I don't want you lean into the negativity every time you stop. It's only the start. It's only the ignition. It's only the spark. That's it. Then it's gasoline.
I'm a starter dude, though. I don't really need.
Great. Then what's the problem?
Too much help on the start.
Start your videos.
It's the lethargic. It's the like, I crushed that one video. Awesome. And then it's like, great. Now we got to do 4 more. Right. Or it's the like, okay, I got 18 minutes until my next call. Can I get something in right now? Yes, I can.
That's your problem is that you're making so many one-off videos and not following through and making 3 more afterwards. No. When was the last time you just made one video?
This morning.
That's it? One video?
I made one, and then I had to jump onto a call, and I didn't have any more time. And then I planned to get to it at 11 after my call, but instead, at 11 I jumped on another call. That's poor scheduling. And then I went for a 1 hour.
You said
run.
lethargy. That's not lethargy. That's you.
I went for a 1 hour run, and then when I came back from the 1 hour run, I said, I got to make this video. And then Jacqueline wanted to talk to me, so we spent an hour talking.
This is not
and then it. I fixed the camera, and then I'm doing this. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, right after this podcast, man, I got time to make videos.
Great. So you're back to one. Back to one.
I just got 3 calls from someone that I ignored, and I have this QA stuff for the website for HubSpot I'm going to do. So chances are,
the point. Your problem is you don't make the one. When is the last time you just made one video and then had? No. That's not true. Because you had other stuff planned. When was the last time I had one video and then had nothing and then just stopped?
Oh, never.
Exactly. So your problem,
but I always have something else planned.
Well, the problem is in the starting, and the problem is in your calendar. The problem is not in the lethargy of what you just said 5 seconds ago was make the one video and then I don't want to make the other videos. That doesn't happen. That's not your problem. It's the starting that's the problem. So it's finding the right negative, but I don't think I'm not famous and my kids will never know me or whatever is enough of a driver to get you going.
My relationship one's really good, but
yes,
because of my Brad.
Yeah. I like that.
Watch someone come in and take what's mine. Yeah, like the idea of someone else raising my kids in my house with my wife, and I've named this guy Brad. Oh, that makes me angry.
I think that's great. That's a good, like once a week to dive into that. Here's another one that I've been pegging in the mastermind group that I'm in, the marketing group. His wife is a relationship coach, and what they had them do was write a letter about in a positive zone, like you're thinking about your wife and how much you love her, and write a letter from a really positive place, trying to understand her and forgive her, so that when you are super pissed off at her for doing something, you read the letter first as a reminder of how amazing this person is for your life.
I like that. One other thing that we've done, which is actually very hard. My wife doesn't like it too much, but I've been told, and we've tried it, is you have to hold hands, both hands, when you're having a discussion, an argument with someone.
Oh, okay.
Do you there's no avoidance. You have to be looking at each other. You have to make physical contact.
Okay.
You can't just be like trying to like break the other person's arm or something like that and be like, but like just
that's cool. I can do that.
And you hold each other's hands.
Okay.
While you're like, why did you do that? And it softens things up very easily.
Okay. So, that's a cool hack. I like it.
I like the letter thing, but
anyway, imagining Brad coming in and then that leaving Brad. You to go be a better father, be a better husband. Great. It's a good connection, but not living in Brad, living in the world of Brad coming over, because then you're living in poison. So it's when you need it.
Well, and I only pull it out when I need to,
Great.
Admit when I'm wrong, compromise, take one for the team, forgive really quickly.
Okay. So it will work for you, Mark, but the muscle to work on is service, gratitude, and helping. We're still back to it. It will work.
I love it. I just want things that work right now. What's wrong with getting something that'll work and then celebrating that and then being able to graduate out of it? Like I don't use I need to meet my grandkids very often anymore, because my next thing is now coming down to like, if I could just keep doing what I'm doing now, I'm sure I will live a very much healthier life. But I want the next level, like, looking at carnivore diet and looking at reducing body fat and looking at being able to be mentally sharp for a really long time. Looking at how muscle mass will help you through sickness in old age, or, all of these things is like has nothing to do with meeting my grandkids anymore, but it's kind of the next thing that I'm looking at. So I would say, what's wrong with using these things for now and then making some quick progress, stop wasting so much time, and then grow out of it.
As long as you're building the muscle to grow out of it. Because you can get addicted to a coping mechanism that then makes it harder to grow out of it.
One thing Michael Lamont said was, your values and beliefs serve you and they hold you back. So I tend to look at on the negative side of things like, oh, this is holding me back and holding me back and holding me back. And he said, well, but how are they serving you? And so sure, something can be holding you back, but it's also serving you to a certain degree. So what's wrong with that, I guess?
Why I kept repeating that same message over and over again was to not see this as this is a strategy that's going to save everything in my life. That this is.
I totally feel that way.
But that's a problem. Because it's not.
This is what I've been missing. I've been missing
exactly.
This.
Because when it's like that, then everything is a nail, and you're just going to hammer it down, and it's actually not that is actually leads to a very destructive life. It leads to a very productive, very goal achieving, very high achieving lifestyle, and miserable for yourself and everybody around you. Fire is powerful, and you end up burning down your house because you don't know how to use it.
I just want to kick myself in the pants to want the things I want more, to place a greater sense of urgency with those things, and do whatever it takes to start making really quick progress on these things. And
but you got to watch out for whatever it takes, because that leads to destruction. Because it's this, whatever it takes actually means this at the cost of everything else.
You know, you said a long time ago that you never worried about me being reckless. Like, you know, me being reckless, because even when Mark thinks he's being reckless, he's nowhere near being reckless. So you never have to worry about that. I kind of feel like my version of whatever it takes is still so tame that you don't have to worry about me going all like, you know, founder in Silicon Valley type of like whatever it takes, because I don't know if it's in my nature. Like, I would love to be more aggressive. I would love to be more competitive. I would love to hustle through things more. I would love to not care what people think more. Like, I would love all of these things. I just don't know if it's in my nature. So
it is in your nature to go and be negative.
Yes.
And go that. So this is what you're playing with. You can be reckless with this. You can just, if with the energy and enthusiasm you first presented this idea to me, to say this is the answer.
This is the answer, man.
I just have to be more negative all the time. Basically what you're saying. I just have to be negative all the time, and then I'll hit all my goals.
I just have to have things at risk. And once it's at risk, I move when things are at risk.
So all the time I have to do this. That's a recipe for accomplishing all your goals really quickly and tearing your entire life apart.
So you don't like this plan?
I like it as the ignition, and then you have gas to run on. So it's a good start, but you need gas. You run off gas, you just be a terrible person to be around if that's how you're living.
Aren't I already though?
No, you're not. I look forward to, you get the most time of anybody on my Thursday. I look forward to our calls. Hopefully your kids and wife look forward to having you say hi and tuck them in the bed. And
yesterday I went into work for the first time in forever, and I came home and I was like, was it weird I wasn't home? And they're like, yeah, it was really weird and stuff. So first of all, yeah, anyway, I can't wait to get rid of our office.
You can't live in fear of Brad all the time. It's a kickstart.
No, I don't want to. It's the thing though that I need to do when I'm becoming complacent, when I'm
in acute moments.
Yes.
In acute moments, yes. When you need the ignition.
For granted, I'm being complacent. I'm being stubborn. I'm being lazy. You know, the kids just want to show me something, and I don't really care, but I don't want some Brad to come in and care a lot more than me.
But it's easy to also say like it's dangerous for an achiever, because you can always live there, because no matter how much you're doing, there's always more. No matter how patient you are with your kids and them showing you their drawing, you could have done better. You could be more. It's like, oh, Brad's going to come. Brad's going to come. Like if that's all you're thinking about is Brad coming in, you're miserable. So using the dark forces
will work for me. That's all I hear. Thank you. Confirmation.
Yeah, great.
I heard it will work for me. Excellent.
Yes. And make you a miserable SOB piece of garbage and nobody wants to hang around.
And that's our episode. Thank you so much for joining.
If you want to see Mark Drager hit me some weird, fun questions, check out the video right there next to us. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe. We'll see you there.